So, the day has come. We have reached the 700th review here on the channel, and all that would not have been possible without your great support. Thanks to you guys who keep watching these videos, like them, share them, and of course comment underneath them. So a very big thank you to all of you who are supporting the channel. So as this is an anniversary episode, I thought we could dive a little bit into the realm of JC Wings Scale 200 models and take a look at this beautiful little CRJ-900. And with that, for the 700th time, welcome to a new episode of Review, where we, as mentioned, will take a closer look at a Bombardier CRJ-900 of Nordica. At the front of the box we have, well, the aircraft displayed in 3 different variants. We'll get into that in a second. And of course we have the Nordica branding. Then on the backside of the box, we have the Nordica branding once more. We have the schematic of the aircraft with original dimensions, and further specifications about the aircraft type can be found just underneath that. And as hinted at the front of the box, this model has been created in 3 different versions, and which one is inside is normally with JC Wings indicated on the side of the box. So you can basically figure out what you get without having to remove the aircraft model from the original box. Although I would always recommend to do that. But when you then take away this cover, because it is basically just a cover, you have this plain white box. And one thing apart from the aircraft model that you find inside this white box, well, is a stand. This is made out of metal. You need to assemble it yourself, but it's very easily done. There is a lovely little print on it, and then this little cushion here, which is very important because it will prevent the stand from scratching your aircraft model when using the stand to display your model. And here she is, the Bombardier CRJ-900 of Nordica, with the addition of operated on behalf of Scandinavian Airlines. As mentioned, this aircraft model comes in 3 versions, one operating for Adria Airways, one for Lot Polish Airlines, and as we have it here, for SAS. Personally, I really do love the Nordica livery, so when I found this aircraft model on the AMS Aviation Model Collectors Fair, I just had to get it. But did I let myself get blinded by the livery? Or what can the aircraft model really offer collectors? We will find out by taking a closer look at it, starting off with the tail section, where we on the vertical stabilizer have the lovely Nordica branding. Of course, on the CRJ-900, the horizontal stabilizer is mounted on top of the vertical stabilizer, and here I think JC Wings has done a very lovely job. Notice also, for example, here the little print that indicates the angle of attack. On the fuselage, we then find the full registration code of the aircraft. Underneath the nacelle, next to the registration code, we then also find one of the doors to the cargo compartments printed on. Towards the very tail of the aircraft, we also have some lovely detailing around the APU exhaust. And with the CRJ, of course, the engines are mounted at the back of the fuselage. The detailing here, I think, is also very nice, with the silver leading edge and some lovely prints further on the engine nacelle. Also, the physical detailing is, I think, excellent, especially also here from the front. Very, very nice. You can see the engine fan blades and even look through the engines. A little further up the fuselage, we find the writing of Nordica, but do also pay attention to the really lovely color transition of the blue tones from the back in very dark to the front where it gets more light. At the front of the aircraft and then across the fuselage, we then have the writing of operated on behalf of and the Scandinavian Airlines branding. We also find the Estonian flag, the Star Alliance logo, of course, because SAS at least still is a member of that airline alliance. We also have the remaining doors to the cargo compartments at the underside of the fuselage, and lots of small printed details all over the fuselage and the cockpit section. Here we then of course also have the cockpit windows with the lovely metallic edges around the windows. We have the window wipers, we have the emergency hatch for the cockpit above the cockpit windows, and a plethora of further small printed details like hatches, sensors, static boards, and also some detailing around the radome. On the fuselage, just above the wings, we also have the emergency exits printed on, which leads us straight to the wings, which you should definitely also take a closer look at. Starting off with the top side, where we have the different flap slats and spoilers carved out very nicely. And we have, again, a plethora of printed details here on top of the fuselage. Various safety markings, including, of course, the markings for the emergency exits. This looks really, really nice. Also, the underside of the wings has a lovely physical detailing, and here we also find the full registration code of the aircraft, and the CRJ-900 also has these lovely winglets, very neatly recreated by JC Wings. My favorite detail of the wings, however, is the addition of the landing lights. The landing gear of the CRJ-900 from JC Wings is, with the exception of the wheels, made entirely out of metal. The wheels themselves are made out of plastic and are rolling, and I think we have a really lovely degree of physical detailing with the landing gear overall. A quick look at the belly of the aircraft reveals, then again we have these kind of carvings, which is where the landing gear would retract into in real life. And we have a hole here in front of that. That is, of course, well, where the stand would be mounted. What we also find on the underside of the fuselage is a physical antenna, where I think JC Wings has done a lovely job. And we have a beacon light. But let me explain a bit more when we look at the top of the fuselage. Here we again have a beacon light. Both are not prints, but actually physical details. JC Wings has carved a little bit into the fuselage and then added a physical piece of plastic. And the benefit of that is that depending on where the light comes from, you can get this really lovely reflective effect. Furthermore, we find more antennas on top of the fuselage, again very well done by JC Wings, and we have further printed details in form of this safety marking. So there we have it, the Bombardier CRJ-900 of Nordica, operating on behalf of Scandinavian Airlines from JC Wings in scale 1 to 200. And what can we say about this aircraft model? Well, the model caught my eyes because of the really awesome Nordica livery, but it has to be said that JC Wings has done an outstanding job in replicating this livery on this little aircraft. Furthermore, we have a plethora of small printed details all across the aircraft model, making it really come alive. Of course, we also have great physical detailing. The engines look brilliant, but also the fact that we have these kind of physical beacon lights, I think, is just a really lovely addition to a Scale 200 model. Now, JC Wings doesn't release official retail prices, but what I can say is that I did get the aircraft model for 75 euros at the collector's fair. And yes, even in Scale 200, a CRJ-900 is not a very big aircraft model, but given the amount of details that we have here, the physical detailing and the printed detailing, I think it's a justifiable price. Especially, and I do recognize that I kind of repeat myself here, JC Wings has done a really good job in replicating the Nordica livery. You have this really beautiful blue transition and of course small intricate details when it then goes from the light blue into the white with these kind of flies. So yeah, really solid job from JC Wings. I cannot stress it out enough. I would definitely say it is worth having in one's collection, and of course even better, you can also get it with the Atra Airways or Lot Polish Airlines branding on. So yeah, I am definitely a happy collector, and I think this was the right aircraft model for the 700th episode of review. Have you gotten a JC Wings Scale 200 model in your collection, perhaps even this one? Let me know your thoughts on JC Wings in the comment section below, or if you have any other input about this or any of my other review videos, feel free to let me know in the comment section below. Share your thoughts, share your knowledge with the community. Let's meet down there. Leave a like if you have enjoyed this video and want to see many more in the future. Of course, if you haven't already, then feel free to hit subscribe. That way you really do help out the channel. And with that, for the 700th time, I can't believe that I'm doing it already for 700 episodes. Thank you very much for watching. Hope to see you soon again. I'm checking out, and bye.